should not be in this man's hands.
Okay, come on.
He is dangerous.
Okay, come on, let's...
You were gonna kill him?
Not me. Nothing has changed. Gabriel still thinks we're clueless.
You don't know that.
I do.
He ditched Michaela at the wedding. Well, maybe he was going to...
You had to make Jake your chief of staff? Please tell me after everything, please tell me you are not this stupid.
Stupid.
And naive and reckless and foolish, but most of all stupid.
You want to know what stupid would be, Olivia? Allowing myself to continue believing all of your lies.
You don't know Debra Martin Chase by name. You definitely know her movies. She's the executive producing mind behind so many life-changing films.
Cheers. I saw Denzel Washington, and a little voice told me to go up and talk to him and realized we saw the world very much the same way and wanted to make the same kind of movies, and the next week I went to go run his company.
Impossible for a plain country bumpkin and a prince to join in marriage.
Among the many gifts that my father gave me, my father shared with me his love of film and television. But it just bothered me so much that I never saw me. And so I moved to Hollywood and decided to pursue my dream of making content that represented me and us.
Polo is exhausted because Majesty, only Polo, gonna take this and give you
A princess.
You more lovely than others by half.
The job is yours.
I have an NBA player's career in my hand.
You ready? This is for my sister and her son.
I'm most proud of having inspired a few generations now of Black women.
I am from Connecticut. I don't have any, I'm not hood, I'm not street, but I'm a person who loves story. I've always been interested in crime, and I have a little bit of anger inside me that allows me to get into the heads of these characters.
Because the first show I ever pitched was Power. So I was like,
overachiever.
yeah, no, well, but the thing is, like, you walk into the room with like 50 Cent, and at that time, like Chris Lighty, and it was like, I had like 100 dudes and me. It was no other women. So it was like, I was walking in, and then, you know, everyone would sit down, and then the people on the other side would go, okay, so who am I listening to? And I'd be like, it's the girl, everybody.
Then they're gonna go, 50, you are amazing. And I'm gonna go, yes, it was me, but it was really her.
No one understood why Angela didn't just want to be with Greg, because he was a nice guy. And I was like, women don't like the nice guy. They pick the nice guy when they're smart and they make a calculated choice, but that's not really what they want. They want the bad guy, and especially the bad guy who you lost when you were 15, who was your first love, who's real dangerous and has big muscles and happens to look like Omari Hardwick. What are you thinking?
More importantly, T, what the fuck's up with you running motherfuckers over now, man?
Oh, the Dominican Shrek? Fuck him anyway. Handicapped people get all the best parking spots.
Your son.
A woman under siege.
I have to do anything to help my mother.
It's not true.
Does that mean we have a deal?
Why the Sundance moment is, for me, that kind of, you've done it, you know, you can do this. That's what I really saw this as. Middle of Nowhere is a love story. It's a complicated love story. Ruby is a happily married woman who loses her husband to incarceration. And while he's serving time, she's also serving time. I wanted to follow her.
I never imagined that I could make films. I just wanted to be as close to film as possible because I love films. And so getting into publicity and doing film publicity was the way that I thought. I mean, I just thought,
this is it. I can be on film sets. I just thought it was gonna be everything. And then as I was on those film sets, I started to observe the directors and think, wait, I wanna be doing that, is that possible? We titled it after the 13th Amendment of the Constitution. And everybody knows that the 13th Amendment of the Constitution says that there shall be no slavery in the United States. Most people don't know that that is a lie.
Of these crimes.
They are guilty.
For a toast from the maid of honor, my sister, Haley.
Peace, brothers and sisters. You know I'm emancipated from that slave name. I've told you many times via group text, address me as Dr. Hadassah Olayinka Ali Youngman. Congrats to the newlyweds. Kwame and my beloved baby sister, who still embraces her devil name, Hannah. See, Hannah reduces to ha and na. Ha being the laughter of all oppressors, and na, she shouldn't be using that name.
Oh, Lord. See, I told you she was crazy. You didn't tell me she was deep.
Since day one, Fox News has been trolling Black Lives Matter, and it's bad. Like Tyrese's spelling bad.
I think it's not the same. It's not the same tradition, and I think the best part about that night was that politicians and comedians get to come together and have a great night of fun. It's just no fun anymore. It's just whack. This president has ruined everything.
Everything.
Because God saw this all along. So I'm grateful.
I think a lot of people feel like you're some kind of an overnight success because the first time a lot of people saw you was at the Emmys when you won the Emmy.
Right.
But you've been at this for a long time.
Oh man, I've been out here pounding the pavement. I moved out here in 2006 and was interning. Like, you know, I worked at Blockbuster. You probably have to charge you some late fees on your movies at one point.
Really?
Like, I was out here hustling, working. I was an assistant for a long time. I was an assistant at Girlfriends. And then Mara Brock Akil recommended me to her friend Gina Prince Bythewood, who directed the movie Love and Basketball, who was a huge hero of mine.
Lena was eager to learn, and she is such a hustler. And you would read a script and give her thoughts, and then 3 hours later she'd come back with a new draft.
Be racist. Racism describes a system of disadvantage based on race.
Ma, I'm gay.
What?
Grateful to Aziz and Alan and Netflix and NBC Universal to allowing us the space to tell a really honest story of what it needs to come out, because it is a process.
And we back, and we back, and we back.
You sweet? I'm not sweet. Oh, so you a gangster? I guess so.
Well, James Frey actually came up to me at a party. He walked up to me, he said who he was. I was like, I'm familiar. And he said, I have an idea for a movie I can't write. I was like, look, man, give me that idea. I want to go write that movie. And I did, and ultimately became Queen and Slim. The journey is really the time to appreciate.